Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about strategies to grow your law firm business online. I'm going to talk about other things, but really the focus is your online presence and how to grow your online presence. So let's see if I can click. All right, so what we will cover, ways to grow your firm today. I believe it's very important in presentations like this, out of the gate, to give you ideas that can just grow your firm right now. Number one. Number two, how to attract clients, just how to attract more clients in general. Active versus passive marketing, data-driven marketing, which is if you're doing marketing just randomly, how do you, does it work or not work? How do you measure it, okay? Then I'm going to talk about introduction to common legal risk and social media. Then I'm going to go through, as you can see, there's a picture of my book here. My book covers the 9 key areas of digital media of your online presence for law firms. And so this presentation, every single person will get a copy of this PowerPoint, number one. Number two, every single person will get a PDF copy of my book. Number three, if you use the link, use the link and you'll get a PDF copy of the book. And if you put your address and everything like that, whenever we don't die, then I will mail you a copy of my book to your office when you're actually there. So that might be in September, October. I have the books now, but they actually just came out this week on Amazon. This book is a brand new book. I will mail the copy of the book to your office, and then with it, you can schedule a free call either now or later and say, oh, I did some stuff, or I haven't done anything, or let's talk, and I can review your business with you. And then talk about LinkedIn, because that's very important for professionals. All right, so my background, they already covered a little bit, but I founded many companies. PiedmontAv.com is my main consulting firm website. And then I have professionalconnector.com is my events website. Many people on this call have probably been to some of my events over the years. I do over 50 events a year for the last 10 years in the Bay Area. Now, of course, I'm switching those to virtual, so I have a lot of virtual events. I teach at UC Berkeley. I'm a Google mentor for their accelerator, and I've done lots and lots of other stuff. All right. So right now, how can you grow your law firm business? Right now, it's about focus. And there's 2 main ways to approach life right now. One is to focus on all the things that you cannot control. And other is to focus on things you can control. So what I highly recommend you do is write down a list of the 10 things that you can control right now. And cannot. Write down a list of all the things you cannot control. And just list them out. And then put that list aside, write down the 10 things you can control and focus on those. And as the things change, then you can adjust the list. But in general, focus on things you can control, number one. Number two is about being consistent. And you can see this chart on the chart that I made here about new business growth. Typically, this is the cycle of most law firms. We need more cases. We need more clients. We just lost a client. We just whatever. Oh my gosh, let's go find new clients. And you're less selective. You can't charge as much. You're more desperate. Then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, we have too much work. We're too busy. Oh my God. Then you stop going out and trying to find people, but that's the wrong time. You're supposed to go out and find people all the time, because if you're out when you're quote unquote busy looking for new business and having meetings with people for new business, you're more selective and you can charge more. And you can also get rid of some of the bottom level clients that are annoying you, that aren't paying you, that don't respect you. So consistency is every month have 3 lunch meetings. It doesn't matter how big your cases are, how busy you are. It doesn't matter this, that. 3 lunches a month. That's what you want. Now, if you did 3 lunches a month, 3 times 12 is 36 lunch meetings with your top strategic partners, top referral sources. So put together a list of your top 20 referral sources and have lunches with them, at least 3 a month, okay? And you can have lunch with the same person twice a year, things like that. But if you have consistent lunches, it doesn't matter if you're busy or not, throughout the year, you will grow your firm to the next level. And I encourage every single partner at a firm, if it's just you, of course you, but there's 3 partners, 5 partners, every partner at the firm needs to have 3 lunches a month. Now, if they're like, I don't like lunch, well, fine, do tea. I don't like tea. But now with that things are virtual, you might as well do 3 virtual meetings a month. And I find it's much easier right now because people can't go anywhere, number one. Number two, you're able to start building better relationships because you're in their homes with them now. So consistent throughout the year, 3 lunches a month, 3 times 12 is 36 lunches. That is the number one way you can grow your firm. Next is top of mind. You want to be on top of mind. So monthly newsletters are really effective, even if there's nothing in it. Like it's just, hey, we're really excited that we won some award, or we're really excited we won this case, or we're really, oh, this thing is going on, or hey, I'm speaking at this group over here, or hey, this is the time of the year, like Thanksgiving, this time of the year that I'm thankful that we're a connection. And that's it. You don't have to overthink and overdo it because nobody opens them anyways. Nobody opens your email newsletters really. So just send it. It doesn't matter what's in it. Yes, it matters a little bit, but the most important is the subject line and who it's from. You, your firm, the subject line. And then if they open it, it says, oh, I'm thankful we're a connection. Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Oh, that's so nice. So now with the virus, you can send an email newsletter every single week. I've been sending 2 a week right now, and people are not saying it's spam. People are not opting out. It's because people are like, well, oh, David's still around. Oh, he's made it. He's still alive. So you can get away with sending out an email newsletter once a week right now. Now, does it matter what's in it? Don't obsess. Just send out something so people think about you, top of mind. The last thing you can do right now is the event effect. I wrote a book called The Event Effect. And it's the whole idea that when you do events, people think about you. And instead of you selling, you're inviting. Instead of trying to push people and harass people, you're inviting them. It doesn't matter if you're charging for your events or not, but right now is a perfect time to do virtual events like this event, or just host a weekly question and answer about certain topics. And you can invite people to come to your question and answer things. And if no one shows up, then you just hang out at your house. If people do show up, then you talk to them for a little bit and answer their questions. So virtual events, or if not real events, once a month, once a week, internal at the firm or offsite. So focus, 10 things you can do. Consistency, 3 lunch meetings a month. Top of mind, send out your monthly newsletter. Doesn't matter what's in it. Number 4 is the event effect. Do events or invite people to events. Or go to other people's events and invite people to go with you to that event. So these are things you can do right now, whether it's virtual or not virtual, that is going to grow your practice, grow your firm. Okay? I don't know if people have questions along the way. In particular, if they do, I can answer them as we go, but I'll keep going. Okay? All right. So when it comes to marketing, sales, networking, anything, there's 2 different approaches. One approach to growing your firm is traditional. Traditional is, I only work with clients or people that drive Teslas. If you don't drive a Tesla, I'm not working with you. If you don't drive a Tesla, then you're not my ideal client, not working with you. So I go on LinkedIn, I look, nope, they're not a right fit. I'm not going to connect with them. I don't know them. They're not a good fit for me. That's traditional marketing, traditional selling, traditional networking. Engagement marketing, engagement selling, engagement networking is, I meet a lot of people I like at a networking event. I'll connect with them. They don't drive a Tesla, but guess what? They know someone that drives a Tesla. I meet a lot of people on LinkedIn. I don't even know who they are. It doesn't look like spam. Sure, I'll connect with them. Why? Because by expanding your network and engaging with more people, you're increasing the odds that they're going to know someone that drives a Tesla, or they're going to know someone that's an ideal client for you, or they're going to know someone that's an ideal strategic partner for you. So traditional is very effective, and you do want to focus on who you're trying to meet. That's why I told you earlier on the last slide, you want 3 lunches a month with the strategic partners, the ideal people. However, engagement marketing is very effective for networking, for social media, for growing your list. So your email newsletter goes to more and more people, and then they share it to other people. So think about engagement marketing and how you can do a better job at that in your practice, and that's going to lead to more opportunities for you, okay? So what are your current marketing efforts right now? What are you doing right now? Not right this second, but right now you're on learning how to do marketing. You're actually not doing marketing. Some people think that by sitting right here, they've actually done their marketing. You haven't done anything yet. So you have to actually take the stuff I'm talking about and go out there and do something. So what are your current marketing efforts that you supposedly do? Well, there's cold calling. Pick up the phone, start calling. There's direct mail, mail out postcards. There's events. Either host your own or go to other people's. There's strategic partners, which I just talked about. Who are your strategic partners? How are you staying in contact with them? There's giving talks, which I'm doing right now. Go out, give talks outside, internal at the firm or external. Then there's referrals versus introductions. This is very important. If you ask someone for a referral, hey, can you give me a referral? they're going to say, well, what's your blood type? How much do you charge? Do you have brochures? Walk me through exactly how you do things. What's a referral? They're going to ask all these annoying questions. First, if you say, hey, could you give me an introduction? Oh, sure. Okay. And then they'll send an email like, hey, I met this guy. I don't even really know what he does, but the two of you might want to talk. I thought I'd introduce you guys. So ask for introductions. Don't ask for referrals. You'll get way more business. If you ask for referrals, that's somebody that's really worked with you for a long time and this kind of stuff like that. In general, just ask for an introduction. Just changing that word will grow your business. The next is email marketing, which I just told you. It doesn't matter what's in it. Yes, it does. I'm exaggerating sometimes, and sometimes people take what I say literal. Nothing's black and white, especially in law. Okay, so email marketing, send it out, just do it. Okay, and there's no excuses. Oh, it's a Sunday, no one's. Oh wait, it's a Friday. It doesn't matter. Just send it out. Okay, these are all active marketing. Active marketing supposedly is AM during the day when you're awake. Active marketing. There's passive marketing, which is PM at night, okay? Supposedly while you're sleeping, but some of you, I think, do the other way around. But passive marketing is PM, and passive marketing is your website and like magazine ads and stuff like that. They sit there, and they're kind of more static. So you have active marketing, passive marketing. Now, what's great about social media, which we haven't got to yet, digital marketing, social media, your online presence, it's both. Okay, because I post something on Twitter, post something on Facebook, post something on LinkedIn, post something on YouTube. That's active marketing. It's happening right now. But then it's also passive marketing because 6 months from now, unless you went to Vegas and deleted it, all that kind of stuff. But it's 6 months from now, it's still there. It's still live. Okay, so it's active and passive. That's why social media is so powerful. Now, here's the problem. Let's pretend I actually do all these, but let's pretend you do all these. Are you consistent? No. Across all these, do you tell people what you want? Do you say, schedule a free phone call with me? I do. But do you? Do you say, just fill out our website form? We don't really want to talk to you. Do you say, what are you offering people? What are you telling people to do? Are you being consistent across all these things and messaging? Most people in most businesses, especially law firms, typically want to have a phone call. Okay? You don't want just random people coming in. Okay? So, and you want to make it clear that they're not your client yet, ever. So you do active marketing, passive marketing, social media stuff. It all leads to what? In my mind, it's a phone call. So you have to say that across everything. Schedule a call, schedule a call, schedule a call. Just like I do. You can schedule a free call with me anytime you want. I'll talk to you. Okay, so schedule a phone call. Based on that phone call, then what's the next step? Typically, it's a face-to-face meeting. Now, face-to-face could still be Zoom like we're doing right here. This is face-to-face. So it's face-to-face meeting. So what you have to do is everything leads down to this funnel. Now, why are they going to have a face-to-face meeting with you? Well, or why are they going to schedule a call with you? Well, you might offer discounts. I really don't like discounts, and a discounted lawyer doesn't sound like a good one, but I don't like discounts, number one. Number two is downloads. Hey, if you give me your email or you schedule that call, I'll give you a download. For example, you schedule this call right here. You're on this event. If I'll give you a download of my book. There you go. Number two is B2B services, business to business. B2B, business to business, is you can schedule a free call with me, right? Or they can schedule a free call with you and learn more about what you do, or talk about their mother and whatever, talk about their issues with you, right? And then you can say, okay, you're not my client. You're not my client. Oh, wait. Okay, you have money. Okay, and it sounds like, okay, you're my client. So B2B service, okay? Number two, the next thing is hints and tips. So you know how you get a call and they say the same, hey, so I want to do a patent, but I was thinking, what's the difference between this design patent versus this patent versus that? It's like, oh my gosh. And you have to answer the same thing over and over and over. That's where you say hints and tips. Hey, that's a great question. Thanks for calling. If you give me your email, I can send you a list of my top 10 most common questions so I don't have to say this again. And then they go, oh, I have another question. Great, what is it? Yeah, okay, well, it typically takes this long. Okay, that's on my other hints and tips. If you give me your email, I can send it to you. So that way you're from the phone, you're getting their email if they cold call you, All right, so next is support a cause. I think a lot of firms a lot of people in general, it's a really good idea. Hey, if you schedule a call, come to an event, do something, we're gonna give money to a charity, blah, blah, blah. The last one is events. Events are a great reason why people are going to give you emails. Events are a great reason why people are going to call you. Events are a great reason why you're going to get new business. Invite people to events. Right now it's virtual. Just set up a Zoom and say, hey, I'm going to be available to answer questions on wills, trust, estates, dying, and I'm going to be able to answer questions about that right now. So schedule a free call. And so I think that's like, how can you lose? Worst case scenario, no one shows up. Best case scenario, someone shows up, you answer their questions, and then they become a client or not. Okay. So what are your clear call to action? Make sure you have one. All right. So now, with all that being said, it sounds fun and exciting, but you have to use data-driven marketing. And there's a book called Data-Driven Marketing by Mark Jeffrey. I teach at UC Berkeley a course. This is actually a 10-hour, no more than that, 30-hour course that I've taught, and I'm going to do it in like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. Okay. So 30-hour course summarized in 2 minutes is there's 15 essential marketing metrics. They're broken down to 3 areas. There's non-financial metrics, which is brand awareness, test driving. Test drive is a non-financial metric. How can people test drive your product? Well, if you schedule a free consultation, they can do a free consultation with you. And then you can see if you like each other. You can do an initial assessment. When it comes to that patent, the first thing I like to do is do a little initial assessment where you pay me a little bit of money and we see how we work together and we see if it makes sense to move forward. Or wills and trust or estate. The first step is we do a little assessment and we charge this much and blah, blah. There's different ways to do it. So there's gateway drugs or little bite-sized sales. And that's how you test drive, okay? Or you do that initial consultation for free. The next is customer satisfaction. Well, I'll skip around. Customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is every single time you call a big company that you really don't like, usually around your electricity or your phone or something you really, really need, and they know that, they usually send you an email the next day, say, how did we do? Would you recommend us to a friend and colleague? Well, it's like, well, we have to. You're the only choice. But those people, customer satisfaction is about measuring if people are happy or not. And this is a way to know if you're providing good service. And you can see it go up and down. So how do you have a test drive for your business or your firm? And how do you measure customer satisfaction or client satisfaction in this case? Still C's, client or customer. How do you measure that, okay? Financial metrics. Is your firm going up or down? Are you making more or less money? This is pretty straightforward, except the customer lifetime value one. Customer lifetime value is extremely important. How much money are you going to get from each client that works with you over the lifetime of that client? So one of the easiest things you can do is say, okay, the average client works with us for 10 months, or the average client hires us to do this, this, this. What if we could add on something like it's not, you don't want to call it a maintenance program because that doesn't sound very nice, but a continuity plan or whatever you want to say, but basically a maintenance plan and add that on. Oh, great. We just increased how much the average client gives our firm. Or you could do stuff like the average client stays with us 10 months. So that. So at month 8, you say, hey, this is the time of the year or the time with our clients that we like to do a 90-day plan. And we come up with this 90-day plan. So it's month 8, you do a 90-day plan. They're going to say 8, 9, 10, 11. You get them to stay one more month. That's the whole idea. If you can get a client to stay one more month, okay? All right. Of course, they need to have the service, and you got to conduct professional good conduct, okay? Because lawyers don't have ethics. You have a code of professional conduct. So you have to make sure you do that. All right. But then you have new age marketing. New age marketing is the stuff I'm going to go through, which is basically, do people go to your website? How many people go to your website? Do they just show up and leave, or do they stay there and they hang out? So at the end of the day, I encourage you to pick one or like 3 of these and start measuring it and go, is it going up or down, left or right? Oh, I guess our marketing's working. All right. So with all that being said, we're going to move into the part of where I talk about my book and the stuff that you care about, which is tracking analysis. Everything is tracked right now. The NSA knows everything, okay? So if that's the case, then when it comes to your online presence and social media and digital marketing, we know what's going on. And if it's tracked and we can analyze it, we can see if it's going up, down, left, right. So what happened was I wrote a book called Online. Well, you can't see it because of the background, but I wrote a book called Online Business Growth Strategies. And I took that book and I updated that and made it specifically relevant for law firms, okay? And what I did was about 10 years ago, I was in the marina in San Francisco, walking from restaurant to store to whatever. And I went in and said, hey, if you use social media is going to change your life. Social media is going to make you more money. Social media is going to mean you're going to get more attractive clients, more clients with better money, and you're going to be happier. And they go, no, get the hell out of here. Facebook is for people that talk about brushing their teeth, and Yelp is for complainers and whiners. And I go, no, but I can make a difference. And they're like, no. And so then it took me about 2 years, and I came up with this idea of scoring every single business in the marina on Union Street, around the Starbucks, Goff and Octavia in there, the bus stop. So I said, I'm going to score all the businesses, which I did. So I put together Excel spreadsheet at that time. Now it's fancier, but Excel spreadsheet at the time. And I went across these 9 areas, and I give 0 to 100 for each area. So does your firm have a website? No. Well, then on score number 1, you got a 0 because you don't have a website. Does your firm has a website? Oh, it has this. Then you're closer to 100. So you can get anywhere from 0 to 900, okay? And I scored every single business in that area, and I had an Excel spreadsheet plus a scorecard. And I went back to them and said, hey, I scored your business across these 9 areas, and you out of 900, you got 300. That's an F, okay? And then they go, well, and I said, I scored the whole street. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. I show them the Excel spreadsheet. They go, wait, how come their score's higher? How come? Well, because they have a YouTube video. Because on their website they do this. Because I said, see, look, they have more. Their clients, their customers are better looking and spend more money. I'm like, oh, geez, okay. So then next thing, they all started hiring me. So now with professional services or retail, it's the same exact thing. We can score your business and see where you're at. So I'm going to go through that and do that. At the same time, because you're lawyers, there's risk associated with social media, and we have to talk about those. And there's always danger around every corner, okay? So when you use social media, it increases your risk, okay? Just like leaving the house does right now, okay? So new opportunities create new pitfalls. So for every chapter in my book, and in this PowerPoint, I have what are the pitfalls, so you can watch out for them, okay? So a simple post on social media can go viral, and then you're all screwed. But then guess what? Depends what kind of law you practice. Maybe that's a good thing. So, but anyway, so it's about reputation management. It's about managing human resources, and it's and confidentiality, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and making sure you protect your brand. Okay. So let me go through. So number 1 is your website or blog. Okay, it's the same thing nowadays. Website has a whole bunch of content blog. Do you have a website for your firm? The number 1 thing that most law firms, the first time I meet with them or talk to them, I say, oh, you have a website? And they go, yep. I say, great. What's the login for your website? And they go, well, Jimmy has it. Oh, okay, but you don't know what it is? No, I don't know what it is. Why don't you ask Jimmy for it? And guess what happens? My experience is 60% of the owners of the firm, the people, they don't know what the login is. They don't have it. Then they go ask Jimmy. Jimmy says, I don't want to. I'm not comfortable telling you what it is. What do you mean? It's ours. Yeah, but you might screw it up or accidentally delete it. I don't want to tell you. So like literally, this is like so common. It's ridiculous. You need the login ID and password for your website. What happens if Jimmy dies? What happens if you want to change a simple little thing? Do you have to pay Jimmy $100 every time? No, it's your website. This is like the hub of your entire strategy. You need to control it. All right, so make sure you get it. Now, when it comes to website, there's 2 main angles. One angle is you, let's say, practice more criminal law, okay? You're going to probably spend money on Yelp ads, Google ads, DUI, you're going to corporate, you're probably going to spend less. Now, maybe you do some and target certain companies, but it's just there's different strategies. Where are your customers coming from? Certain types of law, your customers coming from Yelp, certain types or it's going to be Yelp, lawyers.com, FindLaw, maybe TripAdvisor when they're on vacation. No one is right now, but so they're going to come from different places. So it depends on your practice. Okay. Criminal, there's more individual searches for certain things. Corporate is more of maybe through LinkedIn, you'll get a lot of business if you use LinkedIn correctly. Okay. All right. So the website is your strategy. You need to control it. You need the login ID and password. It's yours. You own it. It's yours. Now, if you do not have a website, you need to have one by next week. If you don't have one by next week, you don't have a business. in my opinion. No law firm, no website, no law firm. It's true. So you need to go to Wix.com, or there's another one, Squarespace, or whatever, Wix or Squarespace, and make a website for free. It'll have an ad on it, and you can very easily do this. And the way you're going to do it is make one page, and you can always add more later. Because if you do more than one page, it'll never get done. On that one page, you need a paragraph that says who you are and what you do. San Francisco-based, blah, blah, blah. That specializes in 1, 2, 3. This kind of law, that kind of law. Maybe 2 or 3 practice areas or issue. Things that you're actually competent in. Can you put those there? Then you put your phone number and your email. That's one-page website. You're done. You can always add more. You can move on, but you need the basic foundation. All right. Website pitfalls. Not fully controlling the content of your website. Do you have the login? Is the content moderated and vetted? Are there security issues? Do your contact forms have disclaimers? Just because you're filling this out doesn't mean you're my client. Just because I'm talking on the phone doesn't mean you're my client. All that kind of stuff. Okay. Search engine optimization and conversion rate optimization. SEO or search engine optimization is when someone goes to Google and they put in a particular type of thing, do you show up or not? They put in your name, do you show up? You're David Mitroff. They put in the name of your company, Piedmont Avenue Consulting. Do they put in, law firm marketing expert? Do you show up? If you put in law firm marketing expert, San Francisco, Bay Area, I'll be number 1 on Google for free, organic. If you put in law firm business consultant, I'll be number 1 on Google, organic, So conversion rate though that's great. You show up in Google, they come to your webpage. Conversion rates, do they do anything? Do they call you? Do they fill out the form? Do they click a button? My experience is that most law firms, they put the contact information on the contact page and that's it. You got to have it on every page. Do you want people to call you or not? No, not really. I don't like when people call me. Well, what's the number one way you get clients? People that fill out contact forms? No. People that email you? People that call you? Oh yeah, those are the ones that usually hire us. Oh, okay. Well, why don't you put your phone number on every page then? Okay. All right. So that was website. So if you did a whole bunch of these things and more, and in my book I have a whole checklist and you can score yourself and it'll allow you to get 0 to 100. If you did all those things, maybe you're going to be somewhere. Okay. Next is online directories. Online directories is number 2. Have you claimed your Google listing? Does your firm say this is ours? The Google listing is ours. Have you claimed it? For free. You don't need to pay them, but did you set it up? Did you claim it? Do you have pictures of the firm? Is the firm services that they offer updated? Do you have pictures of the firm? Do you have pictures of yourself on there? Are the photos labeled? If I look at your web page and there's a paragraph that says who we are and what we do, is that same paragraph on your Google company page that says this is who we are and what we do? Okay. Review sites like Yelp, and we can talk about reputation and reviews and haters later, but in general, sites like Yelp are extremely powerful. I use them all the time. Last year I did 3 real events, not virtual, with Yelp at their headquarters. I was supposed to do 2 this year. Now we're going to do them virtual. So I like Yelp. I know Yelp. I use a lot. We do a lot together. Yelp is extremely effective for firms. But then you have lawyers.com and you have a whole bunch of other ones. Okay. So what was the point? The point is, are you on Yelp? Are you on lawyers.com? Are you on review sites? And are you monitoring and managing your reviews? Okay. And that's very important to have control over that. Now, sites like Yelp, by the way, just real quick, you want to make sure the same exact paragraph that's on your website, that's on Google, is also on Yelp. Why? Because now all 3 of them, the trifecta, if you're into gambling and horse racing, the trifecta is that Yelp, Google, and your website all say the same thing with the same kind of keywords and key phrases and the same kind of services. They'll all say, well, this person's saying the same thing 3 times. Probably it's true. And then it'll link to each other and it'll lead to more traffic. Okay. All right. Social networks. Social networks are sites like Facebook and LinkedIn. Okay. They allow people to engage and talk. For our sake, we're going to talk about Facebook and how it's really horrible and how, don't friend judges on Facebook because you'll get kicked, it'll screw up your case. And then don't have relationships with people on Facebook, it'll screw up your case. It's just like, don't use social media to go find new clients because then there's potential risk that they know you and it's just a conflict of interest. Okay, so LinkedIn. LinkedIn is extremely powerful for business growth for law firms. LinkedIn is huge. The main things about LinkedIn are that most people hopefully have their picture turned on, because I can't see you, but I know everyone on here is extremely attractive. So you need to have your picture on, number one. Number two, most people say intern at Apple. That's their job. Yeah, we know you're an intern at Apple. We know that. So you can put that at the top, but add something else that you actually do or like. Intern at Apple, comma, stand-up comic. Why? Because you're funny, or you think you are. Intern at Apple, comma, international, internet, like, what would you put? IP enthusiast, whatever the hell that means, but you're into IP stuff. Put something so that like I put super connector, and then T-Mobile started mailing me a whole bunch of free phones. I said, okay. This is before I had to wear a bikini and on Instagram, but they started mailing me a whole bunch of phones, and I started posting and then they kept mailing me more phones, and I said, oh, T-Mobile's cool, like I'm doing it right now. And how much does it cost them? 25 cents per phone. So just putting stuff on there, it makes you more interesting and makes more people want to connect with you instead of just saying Internet Apple. Okay. Now, the number one thing that you need to keep in mind on LinkedIn, just like all the other things, is it's just like any other dating site. There's always more attractive people that are younger, that are better than you on the same page. So your job is to keep them on your side. Okay. The way you're going to keep them on your side is by making your profile more interesting and putting your contact information in your summary profile. I don't have it on this one, but you want to put your contact information in the summary profile. That if they're going to take the time to stalk you, you might as well put your phone number and your email there. And if you need to, you can change it. So get a Google Voice number. And if too many people call it, then change the number. Okay. LinkedIn company profile. A lot of firms, some firms have this, but a lot of firms don't. The way that you get it, where if I look at your LinkedIn, it says you worked at a huge firm, then they're at a little firm and there's no logo. The way to get the logo is by creating a free company profile. Okay. So create the free company LinkedIn profile, number one. Number two, guess what? Same paragraph, same exact paragraph on here that's on everything else. So now you're being consistent. If you keep saying it over and over and over, the FBI will eventually give up. When I worked for the Federal Bureau of Prisons, did a lot of entertaining stuff. They sent out 5 agents over the course of 2 years to interview me, and they all asked me the same things over and over and over and over. And eventually, after 5 times, they go, "Well, I guess he's not lying to us." You just have to lie from the beginning, okay? Or you just have to say the same consistent thing throughout. So put the paragraph that says who you are and what you do, okay? All right. Social media pitfalls. How does your personal brand affect your professional brand? Okay. What is the firm's policy about employee conduct outside of the office? So the perfect example is you work for me and you say, can you endorse me on LinkedIn or write a LinkedIn recommendation? Oh, yeah, sure. I write on LinkedIn. They're the best employee ever. And then the next week we fire them. They're going to take that in and say, look, on LinkedIn last week they said I was amazing and now they fired me. What's up with that? So you need an internal policy that says you don't do that. Don't write recommendations for people until you fired them, basically, or until they leave the firm. So come up, what is your policy? If there is no policy and it's not written down, things are going to happen. So it depends on the size of the firm, but in general, what is your policy? Okay. All right. Number 5 is microblogging. So number 5 is sites like Twitter, okay? Things move really, really fast. And the bottom line is, on a site like Twitter, create a free Twitter profile, put a picture or logo of your firm, and put you can't put the whole paragraph because it's Twitter. You got to put a little paragraph that says who you are and what you do, and leave that there. And then you can lock it down. You don't have to do anything. And anytime you post on LinkedIn or post on some other platform, it can automatically post to Twitter. Now, there's a few people, because there's a lot of people on this call, like over 100. So there's some people like, I love Twitter. I'm on Twitter all the time. Great, then do it. But the other people that are not, for controlling your brand, you need to have the Twitter account, and you need to be consistent and have ideally the same, like up here on behind, or is it right here? I have the same stuff on every platform. So ideally you have the same stuff on every platform. You're consistent. You lock it down. So worst case scenario, when you post on LinkedIn or other platforms, it automatically posts to Twitter. If you want, I can talk faster, but what I'm doing is I'm going through and making sure to just really hammer you with a whole bunch of different ideas, and maybe you'll do one of them. That's my approach. All right, Twitter pitfalls. Don't do stupid things like Gilbert Gottfried said, something about the duck, and then he lost his job from it. Just be smart about what you're doing on Twitter and be smart and have a plan. Don't do things like, hey, don't auto post something a week from now and say it's a beautiful day and then it's going to rain. You know that because you're not Nostradamus. Okay. All right. Rich media. Rich media is like videos and pictures. That's where it's at right now. Instagram, YouTube, video, pictures. The number one way to get more traffic to your website and the number one way to make people stay on your website longer is by putting a video on your website, a video on your homepage, and the video literally says, hi, I'm Dave. This is what I do. People will go to your website more for several reasons. Number one, Google owns YouTube, and you're probably putting the video on YouTube. And then you're putting the YouTube on your website. Google goes, hey, that's interesting. People are going to watch more of our videos. That's good for us. Number one. Number two, the video says the same thing that paragraph. So the video has the same text as transcript. It's consistent. Oh, well, now that means your page is even more about that. Number three, people are trained when they see a video to stop and drool. So what I mean is they hit your website and video, they stop and drool. That means people stay on your website longer. And if people stay on your website longer, that decreases the bounce rate. That means bounce rate is someone comes to the website, but I don't want to be here, and leave. They hit your website. I don't want to be here. Oh, video. Okay. And then they stay longer. Because people stay longer on your website, Google sends more people there because obviously that's the place that they want to be. So video is huge. Add a video to your website, at least the homepage, if not every page about whatever that page is about. You will get way more traffic. Pictures, people love pictures. Label the pictures correctly, so rich media. Rich media pitfalls. Oh, you're going to get sued. Of course you are. You're lawyers. You're going to sue someone or they're going to sue you. Don't use photos or videos that aren't yours. And if you do, go to sites like there's a site called Pixabay. There's another site called Unsplashed, or Google royalty free, or pay for them. Do not use them in PowerPoints like this. Don't use them on your website. Don't use them in brochures, because if you make it a brochure and you put the brochure on your website, they're going to use Google image search and find it, and then they're going to sue you. Okay, so don't use photos or videos that are not yours. Now on Facebook, it's still kind of the Wild West, even though it's been around a long time. You can just slap anything on you want there. But if it's company and corporate, I'd highly recommend you don't. So be very careful around images. You will get, I know 3 people that got, anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000. Like, really? Okay. And even though you're a lawyer, trust me, you're not getting out. You can lower the price because you're good at that, but you're still gonna have to pay. So don't do that. Mobile apps. Number 7 is mobile apps. If you did everything I just said correctly, you're going to show up on mobile devices. If you make your website right and it's responsive, you on review sites, you're on online directories in Google, you're on Twitter, you're on you're on YouTube channels, all this stuff. If you do it correctly, you're going to show up right on mobile devices. Now, maybe you want your own mobile app for the firm, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just showing up correctly on mobile, because everyone's on their phones nonstop. Okay, I don't have the virus. That was just cough. Okay, so then number 8 is industry specific. So industry specific is, well, that's what it is, industry specific. So within lawyers and law firms, within the San Francisco Bay Area, there's so many sites. So Super Lawyer or the San Francisco Business Times, wherever, you East Bay Express, Oakland Magazine, Alameda Magazine. There's so many, Tableau Magazine. You want to be in those industry specific things. What I mean by that is, okay, yes, sometimes I do breathe. Okay, so what I mean by that is that you go to Google and you search the practice area that you're in, okay? Whatever, criminal law or criminal attorney. You search that practice area. On the first couple of pages of Google, it's going to be the normal stuff. But if you go to the bottom and click 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, no one goes there. Go there. You will see a whole bunch of sites that are industry specific that are very dedicated about green attorneys that specialize in criminal law. You're like, what? Oh, that's me. I'm green too, you know? So add your name to that list, okay? So what you do is find directories, find industry-specific sites, list your law firm on there for free, and it links back to your website. And that's going to grow your firm, grow your credibility, and that's going to lead to better search engine optimization. Now, related to industry-specific, you can win awards. If you win an award, you're an award-winning law firm. How many times? Once. So if you can win one award over the entire lifetime of your firm is an award-winning firm. And you can now, in your paragraph, you have to go back and update all of them. In your paragraphs, you can say we're an award-winning law firm. What? Wow. Now, what's even better than award-winning is a Golden Globe nominee. They don't even freaking win. And they're a Golden Globe nominee. And I did a whole TED Talk on this. It was in South Carolina about 2 months ago. It takes, I don't know, 3 months for it to go live on TED.com. When it does, I'll send it to you. But I did it. When are you good enough to be an expert? Now, lawyers, you're not allowed to be an expert. But other people, I talk about when are they good enough to be an expert, okay? So a big part of this is about awards, okay? So the Golden Globe nominee, how much attention does the nominee get versus the winner? The nominees get just as much attention as the Academy Award, the Golden Globe, just as much attention. And afterwards, they put on every poster. The only difference is the winner gets to go on stage and cry for a minute. That's the only difference. So winning, nominate yourself for awards that are relevant to what you do, hopefully, and you might accidentally win. And if you accidentally win, you're an award-winning law firm for the rest of the firm's existence. Okay, and then you can put the little logos. If you nominate, or someone else nominates you, you can put the little badges on your website. Builds credibility. I'm not saying now. Some people take it out of context because they like to say this guy is lying and he told me to do this. That's not what I'm saying. Nominate yourself for awards, or have someone else nominate you for awards. If you get an email, hey, we've been nominated for this. Vote for me. Add yourself. Vote for them and add yourself. Okay. All right. So event promotion, number 9. Events bring everything together. Every single thing I just said, you can promote an event on. You can promote the event on your website calendar, promote the event on Yelp, promote the event on Google, promote the event on Twitter, promote the event on YouTube, promote the event. You can film the event and put it on YouTube. You can live stream it. So every single thing I just said is related to events. And events are huge. Events are a great way to invite people. And that's why I wrote a whole book called The Event Effect. And the event effect is my grandmother, every January, would invite every single person that she knew. She died before I call BC, before Corona. Okay, so and I call AD after we die. And that's why I had a Last Supper dinner with my friends. And if we still make it, we'll do it again. But anyways, BC, my grandmother died. And anyway, so she before she died, she would invite every single person she knew to the house in January. Every single person. There's a few people she didn't like, so she wouldn't invite them. But she invited everybody else. Everybody comes to the house. Come. If they don't show up, that's okay. She still invited them. But if they do come, it's fine. And she party. They all left. After they leave, she says, now they all owe me something for the rest of the year. I don't have to do anything else the rest of the year. They all owe me. So the event effect is invite people. Virtual events. I have a virtual happy hour next week. Every single person that's called is invited. You can go for free. You're invited. I just invited you something. Hey, David, thank you so much. So, invite. Events are very effective. For firms, events, you doing workshops, going out there, meeting people, them coming in, going to association events. This is a huge way to find strategic partners. It's a huge way to grow your business. I highly encourage you to do events. Do not be shy, okay? Now, I know that was a lot, but we got to talk about your marketing calendar, because if not, people get overwhelmed. They're like, I don't know what to do. So you need to make a 12-month marketing calendar. 12-month marketing calendar is very basic. You already know when Kwanzaa is. You already know when Festivus is. You already know when St. Patrick's is. You already know the date the coronavirus is going to end. So you put that on the 12-month marketing calendar. And based on the 12-month marketing calendar, you put national holidays, local events, UC Berkeley football, whatever you want. Industry related. When's the big conferences that got postponed that are in your industry? When's the Okay, you do tax law. Well, put those dates. You know what's happening on the. Well, we keep moving too, but put those dates. So what you do is you have a 12-month calendar, and you know what happens every year. It's the same thing pretty much. So once you've set this up, it tells you what your newsletter each month is about. It tells you. It shouldn't be a surprise. Now, if you're like, David, I have no idea what you're talking about. Just go to the back of Target, and in the back of Target, in the section way back there, you're going to see, oh, that's the stuff I should probably be promoting next month. And then if you're like, okay, but David, I get distracted. Okay, go to Michael's. You know, Michael's, you have to make it yourself. If you go to the front of Michael's, that's the thing that you need to do 3 months from now. Okay, or even 6 months out, because you got to buy the pumpkin, make the pumpkin, paint the pumpkin. You just go to the back of Target, they already got pumpkin Reese's Pizza Buttercups, you know? So it's like, oh, it's, okay, so that's how you know what to do and how to promote your business. So map it out, and every month your newsletter, once you have a newsletter for the next 12 months, it's the same one every year. Once you have your events mapped out, it's the same events every year. You know, maybe you add new practice areas, but in general, it's pretty consistent. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is, we have a few minutes left and I can answer some questions, is reputation management, okay? Because everybody's concerned about that. Not everybody. Well, I don't know. So number one is assess your online reputation. So the way to do that is you do a simple search of your company name or your firm, your name, your whole high profile employees, yourself, you know, and look it up and see what shows up and see if they're like, oh, wait a second. You know, when's the last time you Googled yourself? When's the last time you Googled your firm? When's the last time you Googled what your firm does, followed by the city name? DUI attorney, Arinda. When's the last time you Googled that and saw what showed up, okay? Next is identify potential problems, okay? Bad coverage, negative stuff. Third, build your reputation. Make sure you protect your name, set your privacy settings, different things like that. If you're not using Twitter, just set it where it's private. You know, not private, it's public, but no one can engage with you or whatever, okay? Number 4 is monitor. So set up Google alerts to track search engines on Twitter. You can set different things so that you'll get email notifications when things happen, okay? So monitor. So what to monitor? Your brand, your competitors, different categories, and just people that are established in your industry. So established people in other markets, LA, Chicago, well, you're in LA, Chicago, New York, see what they're doing. They're doing it earlier than us. They always wake up before we do. And they're always ahead by a little bit, those people. But so just follow what the people in Chicago and New York are doing and learn from them. All right, so next step. What can you do today? Today, the very first slide, which I'm not going to go all the way back to, you know, the second slide was grow your brand. You know, have 3 lunches a month. Do them virtual right now. A lot easier, a lot cheaper. Do virtual events. Why not? Invite people. If they show up, they show up. If not, you're still in your house. Do different activities. Send out your email newsletter at least once a month. It doesn't matter yes, it matters, you know, but it doesn't matter what's in it, okay? Send it out once a month so people think about you, okay? So today, come up with what's your plan? What's your 12-month plan? What are you going to do this month? What are you going to do next month? What are the 10 things that you can control and focus on those right now? Create a Wix website or Squarespace or something. If you don't have a website, you don't have a business. If you create a website between now and next week and send it to me, I will give you feedback on it. And I guarantee you, out of 100 people, only one of them somehow makes their website ugly. And I'm not talking about your picture. I'm just talking about somehow they make it ugly. I don't know how they do that. But in general, these sites, Wix, Squarespace, these platforms are made, they're already pre-made. You know, it should be very easy and pretty. Have a clear call to action on your website. In everything you do, are you telling people to schedule a call? What are you telling people to do? Okay. All right. Next 30 days, make adjustments to your online presence, see what works, what doesn't work. I'm going to send you a PDF of my book if you give me your information. Go through there and score your firm. Schedule a free phone call with me. I'm more happy to talk to anybody. What else am I going to do right now? I mean, you know, it's like we can Zoom if you want, so you can see me. We have a face-to-face meeting on our first call. All right. And then third, just keep doing this stuff. Like they talked about, they have another webinar probably tomorrow, you know, so go to that. Develop a more comprehensive plan, try things out, see what works. All right, so let's see. So this is my Event Effect book. This is my Online Business Growth Strategies book. This is my law firm book, okay? Please do write reviews on Amazon, 5-star reviews, only 5-star, you know. By the way, when you ask for reviews, this is important. Someone's like, David, you're amazing. You did so, you know, you help our, you know, whatever, or your firm is amazing. Thank you so much. Do you use Yelp? If the person says no, then say, okay, could you write me a 5-star Yelp, 5-star Google review? And you put 5-star Google review. Why? Because people are haters and they'll give you 4. They'll say, oh, they're amazing, but no, it's perfect. Yeah, just you have 5-star. Then if they say, David, do you use Yelp? Yes. Oh, great. Can you write me a 5-star Yelp review? Then you might even tell them, hey, could you highlight this or that? Stuff that you like doing, stuff that's going to make you money, okay? Last is, you know, if you have questions, I have answers, hopefully. And the very last slide is the CEB slide, right? So they're saying you can learn more at CEB.com. You can register for other stuff at CEB.com/business-law. All right.
Hey, David, we have some questions.
I know. I'm prepared.
First question is, so when folks are scheduling their free call or their free consultation, like, should they limit how long those calls are, or should they just let it go on and on and on?
Okay, so there's two parts to that. Number one part is if you say on your website, schedule a free 30-minute call, you will have someone call. I don't do this anymore because you will have one. After it happens twice, you're like, okay, but someone will call and they'll say, I have a question. You say, blah, blah, blah. The answer to that is no, and that's never going to work. And they go, okay, great. So I have 29 more minutes. I want to ask you some more stuff. Like, no. So don't say 30-minute, 15-minute. Don't put that on your website, number one. Number two, what you do is say, schedule a free call. I can answer a couple of questions that you have, you know, and then make it, yeah, it's a 30-minute thing, but don't say 30-minute. Like, so then you just get them on the phone. Oh, let me answer your question below it. Now they call this, don't give away everything for free. What I do is I try to help people, give them feedback and advice, and say, you know what, the next step is an assessment, right? Or the next step is this. Next step is a bite-sized sale. But yeah, I like talking to everybody for free. And if you like them, keep talking. But in general, I try to do 15 to 30 minutes. You know, you guys bill in 15-minute increments anyways, probably. So, you know, try to get it at 15 minutes.
Great. I don't know if you're familiar with this because I'm not, but does Alignable, and I just looked this up, Alignable is a small business network. Does Alignable add any benefits over LinkedIn?
So LinkedIn is the most powerful tool, and all the tools that I talked about are the most powerful ones. There's millions of other sites that will spam you or send you emails. Join this, join that, join this, join that. So it doesn't hurt to join other ones, but you need to be on all the big ones. And all the big ones, Google, Yelp, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those, you do not need to pay and do not pay. The only time you pay is when you say, you start getting business. Hey, how'd you find me? LinkedIn. How'd you find me? LinkedIn. How'd you find me? LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Okay, well, maybe we should probably look into maybe giving some money over there. But Alignable is fine, but you focus on the big sites, and if you want to add to other ones, go for it.
Yeah, and do you recommend folks getting LinkedIn Premium, or can they just accomplish everything they need with a free account?
I believe you need to accomplish everything you can with free accounts first. Once you've accomplished everything you can with free accounts first, then you can move into premium and other things on different platforms. LinkedIn, you know, I encourage you to go on LinkedIn and connect with as many people as you can. And you can do that via the free. You don't need the premium for that. Over time, you can always add premium if that's part of your business model, but you don't. But it's not gonna. You don't need it to start. You need to leverage everything free first, and most people don't.
Yeah. Let me see. Are there any other questions? I don't think so. A lot of questions about your book. Okay, so I will send out a link.
I did.
Haven't already signed up for it.
Yeah, I saw. There's all this chat stuff. So she'll like send me the presentation, book. Oh, then they talk. Oh, you put it.
I will do that in an email.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, yes. There's a lot more questions coming in right now. I don't know if you can see your Q&A.
Yes. Okay.
Someone asked, "What is a Google account?"
Okay. So what that is go to Google, and in Google type in Google for Business. Just put that in Google for Business, and if you put in Google for Business, a web page comes up. and it says, would you like to add your business to Google? And click that, and then if it pops up and says, what's your email, what's your friend? Oh, you're already on Google? Fine. If not, go through the steps of adding your business onto Google, which means that you've claimed your listing, and on Google Maps, Google this, Google that, you're going to show up and it's going to pull information. That's the number one way you're going to show up on Google, and it's free. Okay? What's the next one?
Now, what about Wix? A question is Wix really that great? I worry about creating my own website and maintaining it, and is it worth building your own and then hiring someone to maintain it?
Okay, so nothing's great, but you need to have a website. The number one thing is people have excuses as to why they don't have a website. So you have to have a website. So Wix.com, Squarespace, just make a website today, have one-page website, and it's easy. You don't need to pay anyone for that. Just make it. Now at least you have a one-page website. Then you move into, well, based on that, you kind of have a better idea of what you want. Now you can go have another website built, or you can pay someone to do it, or whatever. Do you need to pay someone to maintain your Wix? No, because it's just one page. But in general, websites are critical. It doesn't matter if it's Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, whatever. You need to have a website for your firm, but don't overcomplicate it to begin with. As you grow, you can add more. But as soon as you I got my bar, I got an office, website, you need it. Yes.
It's concerning ads, including Nextdoor, Instagram, and Facebook. What are your thoughts about placing ads?
Yep. So Nextdoor, I think Nextdoor is fine. I don't, if you're getting business from it, then maybe start advertising on it. Sure. If you're not getting business, why are you doing it? Running ads on Facebook. Running ads on Facebook is a black hole. You can just dump tons of money. Who knows? But Facebook is extremely powerful if that is your audience. And Facebook is extremely effective when it comes to running ads, because you can literally pick, I want the person to like this, or this, and you can narrow it down so well. It's extremely effective for certain types of law practices. So you need to try things out for free before spending money on these platforms. That's the way they'll even you go to any of these platforms, they'll usually give you free money to play with, to see if ads make sense. So, all right. And then go ahead.
One last question, and this is a really good question. It's different than the other ones. What are some ideas for effectively screening potential callers?
Yeah, so there's a couple of options. So one is on my website, PiedmontAv.com. I use a tool called vCita, so VCITA. I use vCita. And what vCita does is it allows people to fill out their first name, their last name, their company name, what they want, and then book a time. And it has my Google Calendar, it syncs it, they book a time, I get an email. So they get a text and email, I get a text and email, and then I send a follow-up email. Hey, thanks for scheduling a call. Can you please tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for? Okay? And then if they don't respond to that, I go, well, maybe they're not going to actually be there for the call. Then I send a follow-up. If they respond to that, okay, then I have a better idea what they're looking for. And sometimes they respond like, what I want is this. I write back, I don't do that. So I cancel their call, So that's one way to screen effectively. Another way to screen effectively is to schedule a call to talk about X, and then it gives a better idea of what you're offering and what you do. You can also have a drop down. My drop down says, number one is I'm spam. Number two is I'm not spam and I don't know what I want. Number three is I want this, I want that. So then I can see, and sometimes people leave the I'm spam. I was like, well, obviously they're spam.
Oh, we have one more.
I see one more that says,
we do. Okay,
do you need to hire a professional to help you with website SEO or any recommendation about SEO companies? So SEO is search engine optimization. So SEO and for the website and all that, do you need to hire one? My experience is that a lot of people pay people a lot of money for no reason. Okay. So, and so what I mean by that is, why would you pay someone to get more? Okay. So make it easy. You do wills, trust, and estates in San Mateo. On your website, in the first page, second page, you don't say, hi, we do wills, trust, and estates in San Mateo. You don't say that with those words on your website, so your website's not going to show up for that. Then what happens is you start paying Google AdWords money, and your ad is San Mateo, Wills, Trust and Estate. Why are you doing that? First, add Wills, Trust and Estates in San Mateo to your website, so for free it'll show up. Okay. Then if that starts showing up for free, why then pay and you're getting then pay for something else. So just that's number one. It's basic search engine optimization on your website. It's not even search. It's just basic. Does your website have your phone number on every page? Do you say what you do? Like if I look at it, does it say, which a lot of them do, we believe in providing the best level of service. We take pride in having a diversity of clients and diversity of staff. That didn't say anything. It didn't say anything at all. It didn't even have the word law in it. Okay, so that's basic search engine optimization. Now hiring, yes, you can hire people to do Google Ads or hire people to do content marketing, add content to your website, or yes, you can pay them to make your website better. But really start with, you can schedule a call with me and I can look at it and I can shred it for you for free and tell you what to do. And then you go, oh, and who knows how to write that stuff better than you? Well, you or someone that's related to you maybe. So then they write it and then they update it and I'll give feedback on it. Now, as far as hiring, yeah, I mean, you could go anywhere from $500 a month to $1 million a month. So, or more actually. So it's, but I tried to answer that. Then next question, fabulous. Thanks for the information. Well, you're fabulous too.